Right, wow, good evening everybody, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. We are live on YouTube and TikTok this evening. We are living the dream. Do get yourself in there, smash the like button, it helps us out immensely in terms of our visibility. Looking forward to this one, Wales versus France at the Principality. Should be a decent little game. Welcome in, who's that? Stokey Steve, welcome in mate. Welcome in everybody. What's your tipple this evening? What are you drinking? What are you up to? Are you in the pub watching the game? Are you just sat on the sofa? Let me know. Let's talk to each other. Of course on YouTube we have got the poll running. So do get your votes in. 3 votes already. 67% of you think that France are going to win. Happy days. This is going to be a real tight one. Wales are going to have to turn it up massively to get the win. Let's see if we can move this around a little bit. Is that a bit better? That's a bit better, isn't it? There we go. Not looking up your schnez. Right. So, let's have a little look at these teams then. So, for Wales this evening, we'll start with the forwards as always. Up front in the front row you've got Gareth Thomas, Ryan Ellis and Thomas Francis. Strong front row there for Wales. Into the second row you've got Will Rowlands and the little legend that is fast becoming Adam Beard. Onto the back row then you've got Seb Davies, Josh Navidi and Talupe Falatau. So decent pack there for Wales, hoping to do some damage, no doubt. Onto the backs then, Thomas Williams in at 9, Dan Biggar in at 10. On the blindside wing, Josh Adams, Jonathan Davis in at 12, in at 13 is Owen Watkin. Alex Cuthbert is in on the open side wing, and at fullback we've got Liam Williams. I reckon that's not a bad little side, you know. I'll take that. I'll take that. Okay, on to the French then. So, Cyril Bale is in at number... Oh, let's start this again, shall we? Let's get this right. Cyril Barley in the front row alongside Marchant and Antonio. Woki in William... I am so bad at pronouncing names. I should spend some time practicing them, but I can never be bothered. Willemese in the second row. Cross, Jalanche and Aldrit are all making up the back row. On to the backs then. Dupont, best player in the world in my opinion. Entermac, fantastic 10 there for France. So plenty of talent in those halfbacks. Oh, the French are coming out. Hello. They're a bit early, aren't they? It's got 8 minutes till kickoff yet. Never mind. Here's what it is. Anyway. Where were we? Antamac is in at 10. On the blind side wing, you've got Villery. Dante in at 12. Fico in at 13. Moefana in at 14. And Jaminet in at fullback. So, oh man, this French team at the minute is something else. I think if this French team can get some solid consistency, then they are going to do some dangerous things. Fleschen, the strongest drink you can get your hands on, mate. You're going to need it tonight. You're either going to be drinking to forget, or you are going to be drinking to celebrate, mate. I suppose that's the way it goes with any game, though, isn't it? Welcome in if you're joining us on TikTok as well. Smash like. We love all of that. And, of course, if you're on YouTube as well, get those likes in as well. The more visibility we get, the more we get seen. It's all good for the channel. And as well as if you're over on YouTube, then do slap that sub button. We're looking for as many subscribers as we can get. We're on the road to 880. 880 is our new mini target. Right, here come Wales then, and there's Oh, bloody hell. There's more pyrotechnics here than you get on Swedish vodka fleshing. Let's go. More pyrotechnics that you get on fireworks nights. It's mental. The roof is open. Controversial this week. Who gives a shit? Nobody cares if the roof is open. Stop writing about it. And of course, a message from World Rugby to the world. Racism is not acceptable in sport. All the world, rugby in sport, all the world we live in. True that. Love everybody. Okay. So, after this, we've got the national anthems, and then we're into the ruggers. We're into the meat of the evening. We'll be here for the next couple of hours with you to bring you all the action. Of course, if you're watching on TikTok and you want the full experience with the ball tracking and the other bits and bobs, there aren't really any other bits and bobs, but you know what I mean. Then head on over. The link is in the bio. Go and join us over there. Right. So we're just waiting now for the game to start. Let me know in the chat as well. What's your predictions? Oh, now we've got a minute applause for Ukraine. There's more formalities than rugby these days. What's going on? I mean, yes, we stand with Ukraine, 100%. But let's get on with some ruggers, can we? Crikey O'Reilly. Right. Let's get the ball tracking up. That's what we want. There we go. Look at that. We're organised today. We're organised today, boys and girls. Right. The big one. Can the French keep marching on? Or are they going to be properly in the mud? I've just realised that that's not working. Why is that not working? There we go. Oh, that's better. Right. Right then, so we've got the French national anthem. That's better, I can hear myself now. We've got the French national anthem ringing around. And once we've done that, it'll be the Welsh national anthem. And then we're into it. What are your predictions? Let me know in the chat. What are your predictions? What are your score predictions? Be brave. Be brave. Put numbers on it. And as well as that, what's your tipple this evening? I've got the kangaroo piss out. But what's your tipple? Fleshing's on the Swedish vodka. Do let me know. Do let me know. Welcoming Katie as well on the TikTok. Howdy doody. Looking forward to this. We're going to get a bit of niggle here. Wales by 5, says Fleshin. Let's go. Keep the score predictions coming in. Of course, if you're on the poll on YouTube as well, then let us know what you're voting. Get those votes in. Get those likes in. Get everything in. Get it all in. Get it all out. Don't get it all out. No, don't do that. Keep it on, Fleshin. Keep it on. Secco yourself. Secco yourself. Oh, thank you for the like, Charlie. You little legend, you. Thank you very much indeed. Right, here we go. Wales are singing away now. That's what vodka does to you. Look, Fleshin. Call somebody, okay? I'll send somebody round at half time if it's too bad. We'll take your shoelaces off you. You poor little lamb, you. Right. Okay. Do you know what, right? Oh, it's a real tough one to give a score on this one. Rugby Forecast have predicted, they've got algorithms that predict these games. And I always have a little look. I always see if it's worth putting my 2 pence in. And this one's really not. Rugby Forecast are predicting a French win by 1 point with a probability of 51.2%. So yeah. What do you say to that? I agree. I think the French are going to win it. I think the French are going to win it by a little bit more than that. But it's Wales at home. And we know that the Principality is a 16th man. So It could go any way. It could go any which way. I really don't know. But anyway. Also, have you got a game this week? Who's playing this weekend? My game got called off. The other team had 4 players. So it's not even if we had enough to lend them players. So I'm called off this weekend. So I'm a bit annoyed about because I feel like I haven't hardly played this year. I've had a couple of injuries and a couple of weeks off with baby. Just had a baby. So yeah, not loving that. But it is what it is. Right, so we're waiting for the Beeb to finish telling us what the teams are. We've already been through those, so we won't go through those. Yeah. I was going to say something then. Yeah, of course. Where can you watch the game? So if you are looking to watch the game and you're thinking we're showing the footage, we're not allowed to, but it is on BBC S4C. If you're in Ireland, it's on RTE Sports, and if you're in the States, it's on Peacock. Right. So we are almost ready and about to get underway. Let's see if we can get to 10 likes on YouTube by half time. 224 likes on TikTok. Let's go. Right. Here we go then. Just waiting for the DJ to stop playing music, and then the referee will get us off and underway. As always, ball tracking is a little bit ahead of us. We'll let you know how much ahead of us in a second when we kick off, because we still haven't kicked off yet. Matt Carley is the man in the middle this evening, with Joe Pepier and Perrier. Oh, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. He's got 2 touch judges. That'll do. That'll do the job, donkey. Right. We are off and underway. Here we go. We're about a minute behind ball tracking. That's annoying. Hopefully we'll catch it up as we get on. And Falatau takes that inside his own 22 and drives it up to the line of the 22. So Thomas Williams has been told that's taken back, and he will kick this downfield for Janime, who has a little dart around and gets up and over halfway before he's brought down by Ryan Elias. Antonio carries then. Untermack gives the ball into midfield. French looking to cut hard running lines early doors as Dupont finds the forwards. By carries. Oh, Dupont has a little dart and he's up to the 10 before he's brought down and gets the offload away. And it will be a penalty for France. 40 metres out, pretty much straight in front of the posts. Good start for them. Tackling up, rolling away was the call there. And the French point at the posts, and this will go over. We'll let you know how well it goes over in a second. Good start for the French. Wales just doing what they did against Ireland a little bit, just waiting for the attack to get to them. Need to get off the line a little bit more, I think. Come and meet the French. And the Dupont dart was just a case of Francis being on one knee after the tackle, just blocking the A-guard, and just leaves a little hole there for him. And the kick. Oh, it just sneaks through the left upright. It's good enough, though. 3 points on the board for France. Wales 0, France 3. Wow, wow, wow. Right, so we kick off again through Bigger, who's just short. Goes down the mid. Unusual kick, really. Goes down the middle in the short of the 22 and finds Dupont, who tries to have a little sneak around and see if there's anything on, but there isn't. And France will kick clear their lines. As Bigger puts one up in the air. Chases his own kick, but can't get there because of blocking. And Matt Carley will blow up the whistle and say, "Not on my watch, sunshine." We will have a penalty, pretty much an identical penalty position to the French, but on the other side of the pitch. So this should be another 3 points. I mean, it's a long old way out, but you fancy Dan Bigger from here? Matt Carley obviously can't speak French, so we'll just do English in a bit of a French accent. Love it. Scenes you love to see. Right, it's all level at the Principality then. Bigger knocks this one over and it's 3-3. Okay. Right then, so we're just waiting for this to go over. We know it's going to go over, but we'll let you know how it goes over. It's only fair, isn't it? As that one also just inside the left upright. I'm having to watch this on iPlayer this evening, so I am a little bit behind ball tracking, a little bit further behind than we would normally be. But there we go. Welcome in. If you are new round here, do hit the like button. We would love to see a few likes on the stream. It helps with our visibility out immensely. So if you haven't yet hit that like button, please feel free to. We're trying to get 10 by half time as the French kick off. Just outside the 22 again. Another great position to land a kick. Puts that 9 in all sorts of pressure as Wales struggle to retain possession there. And they will now kick this clear through Thomas Williams. And again, he's outside of the 22, so he will have to stay infield and does so easily as Jaminet is brought down just short of halfway. Oof! There was a knock on there. It was almost amazing hands from the French. Is that Aldrit that just dropped his pass a metre short? And Wales then will have the put in at this scrum. Let's have a little look at the poll then while we're setting this up. This can take 3 or 4 minutes, a scrum, can't it, these days? 4 votes this evening. France 75%, Wales 25%. I think that's a fair assessment at the moment. Right. France is just getting a little bit of treatment. As the DJ notices that the crowd's got a little bit quiet and fires out some horns around the stadium. Love to see that. Scenes you love to see. Right then. So we get this scrum eventually, get it set. And I'm expecting this to go down because the first scrum in every game goes down. And it's not going to, it's going to hold. And it's going to be a free kick to France. Wales just holding on. It's against Thomas Williams for not putting it in. He held on. Thomas Williams held on to the ball for ages, hoping that the scrum would fold, and it didn't. So now France will have a scrum. Right, so we are just inside the French half. So 50-22 is live and likely, and it looks like they are going to kick this downfield. Right. Scrum goes messy and Dupont has to scrap away, and Alderit ends up with it. Navidi just on top of him there, just bringing him to ground, and French will now kick their lines clear, and Bigger in the backfield looks to return one of his own. Looking for space and just drops a bouncing bomb in front of Untermack, who will also go flat. Oh, we've got some kick tennis on the go here. Love it. Kick tennis. As Jaminet looks to run it. And Villiers then up to the 22. Breaks the first tackle. Oh, that's a huge hit. Ryan Elias absolutely puts the money on. Great to see as the French are still coming round the corner. Ball tracking's done us dirty. There's a try inbound. Dupont. Oh, Thomas Williams, he's all over the place. He doesn't know where he is. That's probably going to be the end of his evening. Looks like he's taken a bit of a head knock. He's trying to get back in the line, but is very wavy on his legs. As it opens up, is Chaminet. It's a 2-on-1 in the corner. Oh, it's a try for France. It's Jalange. I think that's how you say it. Jalange in the corner. And just not great kicking from either team there, really. And the French have been able to capitalise on that. And Thomas Williams is going to come off. Looks like for a HIA. Well, do we need to come back and have a look at that? No. I don't think we do. Let's have a look. No, we're not going to come back for it. That's absolutely fine. Welcome in, Ace. Charlie, thanks for the share as well. Love that. So there we go then. Yeah, Jalange in for the try. It's going to get converted, so they're not going to have a look at what happened to Thomas Williams. TMO's happy enough. I'm happy enough. Game on. Let's go. Straight down the middle, and we're back off and running then. Wales will kick us back off again. Cracking first 10 minutes of this game. It's got a little bit of everything. So, on for Williams. It's going to be Kieran Hardy, surely, isn't it? Yes, Kieran Hardy is on. Just got his head on the wrong side of the tackle, says the commentary team. So that's what's happened there to poor Thomas Williams. It's probably going to be the end of his evening. Probably the end of his Six Nations, if we're honest. Given the stage we're in. Never mind. Right then, so the French take the kick off inside their own 22, and Dupont will box kick this away, and it's a beautiful box kick all the way up to the Welsh 10. And Williams will put this one high and chase it himself. Again, there's plenty of blockers there, but this time they're legal as the French come again through Antonio this time, brought down by Beard. And Untermack will put his boot through that. Sorry, Jaminet will put his boot through that, and Bigger will be in the backfield to clear it. So just 22-22 stuff as Untermack will do it again. Bit flatter this time. And it doesn't it sits up nicely for Williams, who boots it out of play, and Dupont passes that to himself and brings it back into play, and then it's another big kick downfield, and again Wales pinned down to their own 5-metre line through the boot of France. And this time Josh Adams will make no doubt that this ball is going to go out for a line out as he puts it into the crowd. Yeah, oh, he gets his head on the wrong side and gets a knee on the chin, does Williams. So that's not what you want to see. You got to be cheek to cheek, boys and girls. Rugby 101. Right then, so the French just inside the Welsh 10, and it's an untidy line out, and it will be a... Well, we're going to have a conversation about it. It's going to be a knock-on by Wales, so it will be a French scrum. There we go. Right. 4 likes on the YouTube. Let's go. Just another 6 to get. And, of course, if you haven't yet subscribed, please feel free to subscribe and follow on TikTok as well. All that good stuff as we pack down for this scrum. Right then, pundits on the BBC just saying that the French are just winning those aerial battles. They're just advancing down the field with every duel, just causing Wales a few problems, and Wales are going to need to get on top of that fairly quickly. I can't disagree really, as Untermack and Dupont have a couple of loops, and there's an overlap outside. Josh Adams can't get there. Jaminet flicks the ball back in as he's bundled into touch, and Dupont is just about able to hold on to things and get some maintain French possession as Aldrich carries up, and then Rowlands with the tackle in midfield. A little flick, but it's gone forwards, and it's Moa Fanawa that just couldn't hold on to that. And a little bit of press from Wales there. First sign of a defensive press, and it's worked. So if Wales can keep that pressure on defensively, then they might have a bit more success. Right then. And Jaminet is down now, so we will have a moment's pause while he's treated. And Jaminet there just is back to his feet then, just having a little jog down. He's got a bit of tape on his wrist now. There we go. Let's have a little look at the poll then. 83% of you now thinking the French have got this in the bag. Don't forget to hit that like button. We need 6 more likes before half time. Right then. So, Wales with the scrum on their own 10 as it's set. Last scrum, Williams was pinged for a delayed put-in. This time, Hardy learns from the mistake and gets it in fairly quickly as they go blind. And Cuthbert with a bit of space, and he puts boots to ball, charges on. And is Jaminet there. And now the French look to blitz on this, but it will be a Wales penalty about 7 metres out. First bit of success in open play for Wales. And the Welsh crowd go fucking nuts. Absolute scenes. And Wow. Right in front of the post. Go and take the 3. Looks like they're going to. In fact, they have. And it will now be 10-6. So, happy days for Wales. They claw away and get that back to within an unconverted score. Faletau absolutely carves down Jaminet. And I'm not really sure what the penalty was for, really. He was giving it for holding on, but I think that's a little bit harsh because there was nobody trying to get onto the ball. But there we go. It's 6-10 is the score. And Sean Edwards up in the stands looks grumpy as ever. Scenes you love to see. He'll be pissed off with that. Right. Welcome in, Leotard20. How are you? Okay, so kick off then. And Wales will receive the ball just inside their own 22. And Hardy will instantly go to the aerial route. Remember, Hardy is on for Williams, who's off for concussion testing. I don't think he's going to come back, though, as Jaminet puts this up. And, oh, Jesus, it's got some snow on that as it's come down. There's an amazing take by Hardy. But as he is, he's bundled into touch. And we've got a little bit of afters, but nothing much. So we will have a French line out. As Ficou bundles Hardy into touch there. And France will have the line out. So again, another kicking battle, one for France. Okay, so here comes the line out then. And they go to the back pod and it's again sloppy. As Dupont snipes through a little hole. There's not a lot of room there as Francis tries to get on ball, but it's boshed off by Aldrit. Navidi makes the tackle now. Jolon, the try scorer. Up he comes. Willemse. And the French just using a piston-like system. Using their forwards, backwards and forwards. Very fast-paced. As Danty gets the offload. Dupont, and there's nothing there for him, and he ends up getting tackled in hesitation and turned over. And Wales have an injury. Gareth Thomas is on the floor clutching his nose, so probably just a break or a bleed. And Josh Navidi will carry up, but because they've run over Gareth Thomas, they've decided that we're going to have a little pause there, and that's absolutely fine by me. Welcome in if you're just joining us. Welcome to the alternative commentary. Do of course smash that like button. All the likes help out immensely. And of course, if you haven't yet subscribed, then please do subscribe. We're live most weekends for Premiership Rugby, URC, internationals. If we can watch a bit of ruggers, we'll watch a bit of ruggers. And of course, if you don't want the conversation to end this evening and you'd like to keep the conversation going, then do join our Discord as well. The link is in the chat if you're on YouTube, or it's coming in the chat in a second. There you go. The link is in the chat. Right. Okay. Yeah, Gareth Thomas is going to go off for a HIA. And so on comes Wyn Jones. Not a bad replacement, is it? So, Wales will have to put in at the scrum because it's just a reset from the injury. So Wyn Jones straight into the action. And goes straight down. So, we will get this reset. Okay. Right, well, decent scrum for Wales, and Cuthbert will fire this downfield. He is inside, and it does a beautiful job of tracking the tram lines down there as Jaminet takes the high ball and fires that back. Bigger controls it with his foot, and it's out on the full. That's a huge kick, and they've taken it quickly, but surely that's a 50-22. Oh, no. Referees just said that he was outside when he kicked it. So, no, it is a 50-22. I was going to say. He kicked it from 22 to 22, so I'm not sure what's going on here. "10 metres inside." Jesus Christ. I'm not sure what's gone on here. Michael wins. The English pack is a good smoke for tomorrow. Irish been smoking that English pack. I mean, it's going to be a cracking game, mate. We will hope to be live for it. In fact, we will be live for it. And Hardy puts in a kick over the top. Liam Williams is underneath it. And the French are going to get bundled over their own line and tackled. Now, was it a knock-on? It's going to be a scrum for France. 5 metres out. Knock-on from Liam Williams. Great effort from Wales, though. Don't see many box kicks inside the opposition 22. It's a 4-on-1 for Liam Williams, and he ends up being the one to knock it on. So cracking work from him. And it is just into the just outside the clutches, sorry, of Liam Williams. England will lose. We'll see tomorrow, mate. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game. Don't write England off at Twickenham. And there you go. Well, that Welsh pressure has resulted in a scrum penalty against Wales. So a penalty for France. Oy vey. More woes for Wales. And Ontamac will... Sorry, is it Ontamac or is it Jaminet? It might be Jaminet. Will clear their lines. It is Jaminet. And he's about 35 metres out. So it will be a French line out. Deep in their own territory still, but a good platform to set here. Right then. We are on 5 likes with 18 minutes left of the half. Can we get to 10? If you haven't yet hit that like button, please do. It helps out the channel so much. And welcome if you're joining us on TikTok as well. As the Welsh steal the line out. And it's Navidi carrying up. And he makes a couple of metres before being brought down. And Jonathan Davis then. Faletau just slightly behind him. Makes him check his run a little bit. And Bigger has a little show and go. But he did get down to a knee, so the French players will have to let him go. And it's an excellent quick kick as France, sorry, it was Josh Adams with the kick there as he stabs that through. It wasn't even Josh Adams, was it? I'm losing the will to live here. Owen Watkins, sorry, stabs that one through, and the French will have a line out deep inside their own 22. So, great work from Rowlands at the line out. Line out's won. Wacky wins it this time, and Aldrich carries up in midfield, but is met by Falatau and Navidi, and he doesn't go much further than that, unsurprisingly, as Dupont looks to leather this downfield and finds Josh Adams. Now Liam Williams, and he goes down the middle, and it's not a great kick. And Dan Bigger is racing back and calls the mark before he runs into touch. Back, the daughter just popped to ask me something. Welcome back in, mate. You haven't missed much. Not in the chat anyway. Just Michael. As Jaminet fires this one downfield. And it will trickle all the way beyond the dead ball zone. So Wales will have a scrum. And that mistake has been coming from France. They've been very, very close to the try line. And those sorts of distances, once you're starting to get end over end, it can get a bit of top spin and kick on a little bit. So not surprised that mistake has come, but it's a long way back for France. And all of a sudden Wales are starting to win one or two of those aerial battles. Welcome in if you're joining us on TikTok as well. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're joining us on YouTube, welcome to you too. Let's have a little look at the poll. 8 votes on the poll so far. 89% of you think France are going to win this. 11% of you are hoping for a second half performance, much like Wales had at Twickenham. And Hardy goes alone, puts a little stab through. Oh, and it's just out of the reach of Cuthbert. And it did look like he was getting his shirt pulled a little bit there. But all sorts of questions being asked of France with this, these little stab throughs and little dinks here and there. Hardy just fixes one or two defenders. And Cuthbert, no, he wasn't held at all. But the French, and it's a free kick for Wales. Sorry, free kick for France. Wales just creeping across the line, and again, Wales let France off the hook, deep in their own territory with a cheap penalty. And it is just now just creeping across. Just a little bit of looks like Wales have worked Woki out as Rowlands takes one off the top, and he's bum rushed through the middle, and there is a strip, and Watkin carries up. Oh, and a missed pass, and it all goes to pot, and that's great hands between Navidi and Falatau. Able to rescue the situation from the clutches as Ryan Elias is just called for a knock on there on the floor. Unfortunate there. Wow. Just one or two little mistakes for Wales creeping in here and there. It's just costing them a little bit. Right. Welcome if you're joining us on TikTok, by the way. See a few of you popping in and out. So thank you for that. And that's this time a free kick, early engagement from France. So it's a free kick to Wales this time. And this scrum isn't really working for either side at the minute. As Bigger will go for one of those spiral bombs up into the night sky. Aldrich can't hold on to it, and Wales get it back, and it will be a scrum for Wales for a knock-on the French 22. When's half time? Says Mays. Mays, we've got about 9 minutes left of the first half. The score is Wales 6, France 10. First commenter, let's go. Thank you, Mays. It's our first live on TikTok as well, so scenes you love to see. Right then. Okay, so ball is in from Hardy. Good strike from Wales as it comes to the back. Split attack for Wales and Bigger. Oh, it's a shader forward. Cuthbert all wrapped up. But they're up. Deep inside the 22 now. Round about halfway through the 22. As Hardy uses the forwards. Adam Beard then carries up, and the French doing a great job of, I was just about to say, the French doing a great job of pairing off in the tackle. One makes the tackle, one makes the jackal. And as I'm about to say that, Matt Carley blows his whistle, and it is a penalty for France for not releasing. So again, more 22 pressure from Wales. More mistakes letting the French off the hook as they clear down to halfway. Such a great job. Anybody looking to sort of improve their jackal technique, have a look at that. Great release, really clear. Gets on the ball early, great body position, nice and low, really strong. Everything you want to see, absolute textbook. Right, off comes Wyn Jones, and on comes Gareth Thomas again. So he will make his way back on. France missing, I think that was just one tackle in this half. So great work from them. Remember, we are trying to get to 10 likes on YouTube by half time. We've got just 7 minutes left. So if you haven't yet liked the stream, then please feel free to do so as France kick this downfield. Josh Adams up in the air but doesn't get there. And Faletau picks it up and gets it away to Ryan Elias, who's absolutely drilled. This is going to cost us. Oh, what, all these penalties? Yeah. Jonathan Davis then, trying to get a handoff in. Doesn't quite. Yeah, Flesh, and you talking about the... Oh, Liam Williams doesn't get a clean ball and juggles it backwards, but it's fine. And Josh Adams will put boot through that. And Seb Davis almost gets a great tackle in. And now Untermatt carries up, and Dupont feeds from Marchand, who carries up just over the halfway mark. As again, the ball goes loose and they try to go wide, and there's a sniff of interception, and Owen Watkins is all over that before Dupont gets hold of the ball, and he's looking for holes. And he's done it again. He's found He's found Moefana out on the wing, and I thought he was away, but he's not. He's been caught up. And all of a sudden, this game has gone scrappy as fuck. And a little dink and a little bit of Harlem Globetrotters. Seb Davis. Owen Watkins tries to stab a kick through. Bounces back to himself. And, oh, it's just going all over the place. As Hardy grabs DuPont from behind and everybody whinges about it, but it's in open play, so it's all legal. Aldreet then tries to get a bit of structure back to this as it's all gone to shit. It looks like an under-12s game. As Josh Adams takes the high ball then inside his own 22 and fires one back downfield as both teams look to reorganise themselves, and Untermack will return the favour with interest, and Bigger will continue the kick tennis as he finds a little bit of space downfield, and he will find another 50-22. Dan Bigger's boot is on fire. My word. Great awareness for Dan Bigger. He just looks up, sees that there's nobody home, switches direction, fires a beautiful spiral downfield, and end over end, bounces just outside of the 22, and the second bounce is out of play. Nowhere to go for France. And the Welsh massive go crazy, and rightly so. Right then, so Julien Machon's just doing up his shoelace, and Wales are organising what they're going to do at this line out. And who's that? Williamsey. He's having a little chat with the ref. It's all good. It's all gravy. Right then, Will Rowlands then on the catch and drive. Willemse has to be a little bit coy about where he puts his hands. No, thank you, Churchill. As Hardy gets it away to Cuthbert. Hardy has a little run himself. About 7 metres out now. They're going to have to start to bring these forwards into play as Liam Williams steps in to scrum half. Elias, nowhere to go. Big blue wall in front of him. Josh Navidi, French doing well to stay organised. As it goes a bit loose, and Marchant over this. But Matt Carley happy for Wales to drag that back. 6 metres out now as Wales use these forwards to drive forward. Penalty coming, not rolling away. As the French are trying to pass the ball back to keep the game alive. And it will be a penalty to Wales. And it looks like it's going to be another 3 points. So another visit to the 22. And another visit to the 22 and another 3 points. This is going to go over. No doubt about it. It's 5 metres out right underneath the posts. He could blow this over, if I'm honest. And the way his boot's on fire tonight, you fancy him to... to smack this into next week. Right. 11 of you in here. 7 likes. Welcome in, one and all. Welcome in, welcome in. 4 of you in on the TikTok as well. Thanks for joining us. As this goes over, it is 9-10. Just the point in it. And at the minute, if it stays like this, Rugby Forecast have nailed this prediction. But yeah, if you haven't liked on the YouTube, then please do like. Oh, or on the TikTok, to be fair. Please do like. We're trying to get to 10 likes by half time. So we've got 3 to get. Can you help us out? Right then. Okie dokie. So France get us back underway and they go deep. And Faletau is the target from the kickoff. And Hardy will look to box kick this away, but it has been touched by the French, so it loses a lot of distance, and Jaminet has got it. Ball tracking tells us there's not a lot going on for the rest of the half, because ball tracking's told us it's half time. But we've still got 20 seconds to watch, so we'll bring you that as France roll round the corner. Barley. Navidi over it, but is cleared out, and Jaminet goes for the drop, and oh, Jaminet. He's shanked the shit out of it. Let's be honest. It's wide, it's low, and Dan Bigger wants half time, so he just tips it to himself and boots that into touch. So, half time at the Principality. Wales 9, France 10. What a half of rugby. What a half of rugby. Do not go anywhere. We are going to be right back. I'm just going to take a short break. TikTokers, I'm going to stay here, but you're just going to have a blank screen. You're probably just going to see this grass for a couple of minutes while I go for a little wee-wee. But in the meantime, if you are on YouTube, I'll leave you with the stats, and we'll be back in just a moment. Oh, welcome back in then, everybody. We are back. We are back. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Okay, so what a first half of rugby. Merry cosplay over on TikTok's loving that. Fleshin, are you surviving? How's your backside? Is it twitching yet? The French really dominated the kicking game in this first half. Wales have had a little bit of success, and when they have had some success, they've really been able to get that pressure on the French. But and Dan Biggar's boot has got them out of some trouble with a couple of really good 50-22s as well, which has been awesome to see. But yeah. Right. So, I can't even remember what I was saying now. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Dan Biggar's boot. Yeah, Dan Biggar's boot. But Wales, they've just got to be more clinical in the 22. They've got to be more clinical in their 22. In France's 22. They've just been a little bit lackluster in and around there, and they've given away a few easy penalties, let the French off the hook, and yeah, they could have turned the screw a little bit there, I think, and they really didn't. They really didn't, which is a shame. But never mind. Right then. So, what else can we say about that half? Let me know about that half as well. Do drop us something in the chat. Let us know what you're thinking. Are you thinking, oh my god, this is properly twitchy bum time? Or are you thinking, nah, we've got this in the bag? Wales might have a little bit of confidence the way they came back at England last week. Or week before last, sorry. But the French are such a clinical side. And barring something French, you kind of feel like this Grand Slam's in the bag. I know that's early days to be calling shit like that. Fleshin, yeah, I'm good. Not too bothered by the French at the moment. They were blowing in that last 10. We need to be more calm. Couldn't disagree with that at all, mate. I think Wales just a little bit slinging the ball around, a little bit too happy to throw around some offloads that probably weren't always on. Got a little bit scrappy in that last quarter of the half there, didn't it? Right, 12 votes on the poll. Do get your votes in on the poll as well as your likes. We're trying to get to 10 before half time restarts, so we can only hope. But yeah, no, we would love to get some. We would love to get some more likes on there, so do feel free. Yes. Anyway, so Wales are. They do need a bit more calmness. They are well in this game. The 16th man as well around the Principality. Those fans have been absolutely electrifying. It's completely packed out, which is absolutely amazing to see given the last 2 years we've had and no fans in stands and stuff like that. So it's all good to see rugby back where it should be. It's all gravy. Right. So, okay. Snatching too much. Yeah. Just trying to force the game a little bit. Just trying to open it up a little bit too much. Just trying to get that extra pass off that maybe isn't there.
Give me one, brother.
Very good, very
Yeah.
nice.
Hey!
Very good, very nice. Hello,
John.
chicken nugget.
Thank you, John, for
John
the
Martin
sub.
subscribed to the channel.
Love that. Okay. Of course, if you haven't yet subscribed, It's a good reminder for me, isn't it? If you haven't yet subscribed or followed on TikTok, then please feel free to do so. We're live most weekends. We won't be live next weekend. It's my sister's wedding. I might try and sneak one in on my phone. I'm not going to be popular, but I might try and sneak one of the bloody super. Who has your wedding on Super Saturday weekend? Do you know what I mean? But I might see if I can get a quick stream in when no one's looking. Right. Also, what's coming up? What we got coming up? We got the Women's Six Nations coming up. The TikTok Women's Six Nations are coming up. We're going to be covering some of that, probably mainly on TikTok. But we'll do some stuff on the YouTube as well. Just jumping in to say hello. Still thinking 22-20 to Wales. Cheers, Ryan. Mate, it's not a bad shout, you know, 22-20. I wouldn't write that off. I wouldn't get down to bookies for it, but I wouldn't write it off. How would you get to 22, though? I mean, it's doable. With some quick maths that I ain't got. Is that another... It's a 5 penalties, isn't it? Yeah. There you go. I think it's right. Not sure. Never mind. Right, anyway. So, yeah. We'll try and get some stuff on next weekend. But we'll see what happens. And, of course, we will be around this weekend anyway. So, we're around tomorrow and we're around Sunday. So, we'll get some more ruggers on this weekend. And we're looking forward to that. Right, what do Wales need to do in this half to get the lead? For me, they've got to improve that line speed. They've got to be more clinical in the French territory. At the minute, they've just got a little bit too sloppy in that French 22. Got Wales, Ireland, and Scotland in my treble too. Tidy. That is tidy. That's not a bad shout, you know. I mean, you could be falling on your face at the first hurdle, but that's not a bad shout. I fancy Ireland tomorrow. Even as an Englishman, I don't see us beating Ireland. So, oh, here we go. Nigel Owens is having his 2 pennies worth on the referee. I like Nigel Owens. I think he's a lovely chap and whatnot. But I really don't see the need that we need to roll out Nigel Owens everywhere and go, right, Nigel, analyse the referee. I ain't interested in the referee. I'm interested in the rugby. Like, let the referee do his job. He's got a hard enough job as it is. The laws are a mess at best. Everything's a grey area. Everything's an interpretation. We don't need Nigel Owens coming in going, well, he should have done this like this and he should have done that like that. No, just let the guy be the guy and let him run the game. If we're having to talk about the referee, then we haven't seen a great game of rugby. If the referee has influenced the game that much, and to be perfectly honest, Matt Carley's had a fantastic first half. I've barely noticed him as a referee, so that's great. I don't want to notice the referee. I want to celebrate Dan Bigger's 50-22s. I want to celebrate DuPont Snipes. I don't want to be talking about Matt Carley. Joke. Right, the players are back out. Rant over. Here we go for the second half. Wales are going to kick us off, aren't they? Yeah, more clinical in the French 20, but there is the Edwards influence. Oh no. Right. Okay. We are about to get underway as the clock ticks over. I reckon we're about 30 seconds away from kickoff on my screens. As we always know, ball tracking's a little bit ahead of us. As the kids in the stands screaming, come on Wales, you'd love to see that. Love to see that. I must admit, I've never been to the Principality. It's one of them ones that I really want to get to. Mainly because it's in the middle of the city centre, so you can have a reasonably priced beer after the game. Drinking in Richmond ain't the one. You go to Twickers and it's like a £200 day out. And like that's not because I'm drinking gin and tonics. That's drinking the cheapest lager I can find, but everything's fucking £6. Right, anyway, we're back off and running. I'm on a bit of a rant tonight. As Aldrich takes that just inside his own 22. And Dupont will set up the box kick. And he will find touch just inside his own half, I want to say. Maybe. Yeah, just inside his own half. Cameraman wasn't sure where it was going either. Right. I remember to keep my eyes on both chats here. Do keep the votes coming in on the poll. Do keep the likes coming in as well. All of those likes help us out immensely as Wales put this line out in. And it's up, down, and it's Rowlands to pop it off to Hardy, who finds Bigger, who finds Cuthbert off his wing. Thomas carries up. Beard to Williams. And it is knocked on in the tackle, and we will have a scrum. We're going to have a scrum for France. And Dan Bigger got a little bit of a dead leg. So he'll just have a little high knee march up and down a bit and try and walk that off. And there's a question for Wales fans. Wales fans out there. Wayne Pivac. Is he the right man for the job? Is he the right man for the job? I'm going to be controversial. I'm going to say no. He's not for me. Anyway, while I wait for your responses, France put the scrum in, and Dupont releases Fiku, who's tracked by Jonathan Davis, brought to ground just inside his own 10. Dupont waving forwards round the corner, looking for some crash runners, finds Aldrich, and is driven back in the contact, and the ball is out, and it goes a bit sloppy again, and Jolon finds Jaminet, who kicks downfield and gives Liam Williams loads of room to run into, and the silly sausage runs straight into Williams and gets absolutely slapped into next week. Up comes Jonathan Davis then. Rowlands. Hardy out to Bigger, who gets a bit of a late shot from Dupont, and Navidi just chasing his feet a little bit, trying to stay alive, and does a good job to get to ground. Josh Adams over the top, and Cuthbert then up to the French 10. Wales not making an awful lot of ground, and as I say that, the French steal and win the penalty. Villiers then is in there, gets the jackal. Good work from him. And boot downfield. Well, not great from Wales, if I'm honest there. More sloppy penalties. Unsupported runners. Freddie Clark is in. Welcome in, Freddie. As Machon puts that up. And Villison finds Eldred, who finds... I think that was Fico. And Marchand finds a little hole, and Wales starting to leak some holes in their defence as they're pinged for offside. Advantage coming. Inside the 22 now of France, and they look dangerous as Dupont wonders if there's a hole there. There's no advantage coming, so we're going to come back for that. Oy. So right under the posts, just outside of the 22, French penalty, and they point at the posts, unsurprisingly. Total penalties conceded. To be fair, only 5 penalties conceded by Wales, 3 from France. So well within the reams of what you would deem acceptable. So we'll wear that. We will wear that. Let's have a look and see what we're saying on TikTok. Lovely jubbly. Okay, so Jaminet will look to put this over. He will. And it's another 4-point game. Wales 9, France 13. $17 votes on the poll. 71% of you thinking that France are going to win this. Any try for Wales, and it's game on. Well, hello there, TK. Welcome in, buddy. Welcome in, welcome in. I'm doing well, mate. How are you? Good to see your little sexy face. My back, however, is not doing too well. Cheers, mate. Right, Dupont, box kicks. France have brought on a replacement. Awas is on in the front row as Falatau carries up to halfway. Big heavy run from him. No, my back's fine, mate. My back's fine. Penalty advantage. And we'll come back for that. Not rolling away. Are you streaming tonight, TK? Are you live this evening? How is Man Like Ren? Man Like Ren, for those of you that aren't aware, this is my newborn son. He's a week old. Well, he's a week and a half old. I think he's 10 days old now. Man Like Ren is living the dream. He is living his best life. He shit all over me earlier. I was not impressed. And that's a great nudge from Bigger. Bigger is having the night of his life with the boot. He's found the 5 metre line from about 45 metres out. That is an exceptional kick. So it will be a Wales 5 metre line out. Mate, award for the most dramatic fake injury I've ever heard of. Lol. You lol. You have a fat bastard like you land on your back. Fucking people elbow me. We're doing one of those. I'll tell it to you after this. Here we go. Wales looking to launch a massive attack from this maul as they split right. But is there enough? Here they come. They're up and over the line, but I think they're going to be held up. It is held up. It is held up, so it will be a goal line dropout. Great work from France. Great work from France there to get on that. That's what rugby's about. You're lucky I was wearing clothes. I think it was just I wasn't expecting it. So I wasn't braced for it. And cracked my back in about 5 places when you dropped a people's elbow on me. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm manning up. I'm taking some man pills. I've eaten a plate of cement and I've hardened up. Right, Falatau takes the goal line dropout kick inside his own half, and Bigger puts this up for Williams to chase, and it's knocked on by Max. So it will be a Welsh scrum, and Wales just starting to turn the screw. Absolute scenes at the Principality. People pay good money for that sort of stuff. You best believe. I thought you'd put your stilettos on and had a march over me. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Shit rule that. What, the goal line dropout? I think it's right. I think it's right. I think the defending team should be rewarded if they've done the good work of keeping you up. Right. Where are we? On the 22, just outside of the 22, with a Wales scrum. Wales really applying the pressure now. But they're going to have to get a score. They've got to get a score. All of this pressure is only any good if they can get something on the board. Also, am I free on Sunday? Probably. I normally am. What's up? What do you want? Oh, is this why you're in? You want something? Is this why you've joined? You're not setting up your stream. You just want something. So you jumped in the, you've jumped in the stream. Oh yeah, I'm always here. Hey, hey. Let me hit that. You haven't even hit that like button yet. Smash like, and I might be available Sunday. Right. Okay, we get this reset. Oh, there you go. Right. Got a present for you. Oh, I feel bad. Oh, I feel bad now. I'm sure we can pop round. I'm sure we can pop round. No, not when it's your team. Yeah, no, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, apologies, TK. Right. Up come Wales then. They're on the 22 through Thomas, and they're rolling through the gears here. But French are doing a great job of repelling them as they roll through the 6th phase. Aldrich with the tackle this time. Getting through some mammoth work. And again, Wales let France off. They give a penalty away. Tackle height from, well, I'm guessing that's clear out height from Faletau. Ooh. Dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, so it'd be really interesting. See if we can find it. See if we can find the stats on this. I'd be really interested to see their time in the opposition 22. Well, there you go. Wales have had 1 minute 33 seconds in the French 22. France have had 2 minutes 38. Have we points per visit though? 9 visits for Wales for their 1 point per visit. 1 point per visit to the 22. It just isn't good enough at this level. So yeah. But Aldrich then carrying up. Wocky. TK, are you live this evening, by the way? I forgot to ask. We might do a little raid. We might do a little raid. Mavaka then carries up. And Jaminet, sorry, Untermack puts that high, and it's a great catch from Liam Williams, to get underneath that and hold on to that as Wales now get the ball back. And the 16th man of the Principality screams out in song. Beautiful to hear. A little bit of Welsh choir there. And Hardy will kick that downfield and Jaminet will run it back up to halfway. Up comes Hawass, but he knocks it on, so it will be a Welsh oh Jesus, Sean Williams Sean Edwards, sorry, not happy with that in the French box, as Wales now get the scrum just inside of the French half. Just inside of the French half. Right, so we have got a little bit of time off. 18 votes, 67% of you think France, 33% of you think Wales. 5 handling errors for Wales, 6 for France. Ryan Elias comes off. He's had a good old game, hasn't he? And on comes Dewey Lake. So he will get through some of these scrums, and hopefully this one will stay up. It does, and Hardy's in there, a little slow as it starts to wheel, but and Dupont gets the steal off Faletau. So Wales balls that up. Again, France opt to box kick. And Williams will set himself under... Oh, sorry, that's Josh Adams setting himself under it this time. As the French look to chase through. And it's kicked through the ruck. So it is an advantage for Wales. They will have a penalty come in. And no advantage coming. So we will come back for the penalty. Just Aldrich just marching through there, and unfortunately for him, he just puts the boot through it. How are your fantasy teams doing, by the way? If you've got a fantasy team, let us know. Let us know how you're getting on as well. Right then. Bigger trying to rev up his players. As Lake puts this in, it's off the top, and the French try to come through, but Navidi, big charge, gets them up and over the gain line. Watkins. Hardy finds Adams, but there's nothing on, so he tries to come back inside and just finds heavy traffic. As Wales hemorrhage meters. They've lost about 20 meters just in that phase alone. Just settle yourselves down. Just get to ground. Get reset and go again. And Bigger puts it up, and Matt Carley thumps his whistle as France are offside, so it will be a penalty to Wales. And well, he's just inside his own half. The commentary team are shouting corner. I don't think he's going to get 5 meters out from here. But he'll have a damn good go as he puts it just outside of the 22, I'd say. It is on the 22. So if the French turn it over, they will be considered inside and can boot this clear into touch. Wales in no rush to get to this line out. And I tell you what, the French look tired. Hands on knees, blowing a little bit. 22 minutes left to go. Still within a score. Lake feeds it out to Hardy. Bigger on the crossfield. Josh Adams is there. He's taken out in the air. But it will be a line out. It is a knock on from Josh Adams. So France get away with one there, because if Chaminade hadn't put that sort of pressure on, Josh Adams was in. So it will be a scrum. It will be a scrum to France. And off goes Francis. On comes Lewis. It's a lovely weighted kick from Bigger. Oh, well. It's not even a knock-on. It's not even a knock-on. Well, Matt Carley's been very clear. It's touched first by Red, but the replay is showing that he doesn't touch it at all. Right. 14 of you bad boys in here. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. We're just getting this scrum set. While we're getting this scrum set, if you haven't hit the like button, let's see if we can get to 10 likes by the end of the stream. We're on 8 at the minute. Slow going this evening, but that's fine. We don't mind. If you're not enjoying it, that's okay. That's cool. And if you're just chillaxing, that's cool too. But we would really appreciate it if you hit the like button. As it's a knock on by France now. As the first carry. The ball don't lie. The ball don't lie, Matt Carley. Get back in your box. Right. And, yeah, just, who's that? It's Dante. Just carrying up, eyeing up Dan Bigger's shoulders. And as he does, he lowers himself a bit. And Bigger's shoulder goes through the ball. And it looks like Hardy is getting a bit of treatment now. So Wales have already used their replacement scrum half. Thomas Williams can't come back. He's got a head injury. Kieran Hardy has got a shoulder injury. So I'm looking down the list. Gareth Anscombe. Can Gareth Anscombe play 9? Yeah. So we're just waiting to hear about Kieran Hardy. He's still getting treatment. No, in fact, he's going to go on. He's going to play on. Good man. Yeah, just looks like a stinger on the shoulder. Probably got a bit of a dead arm. It's horrible that. You get pins and needles in your fingers for 5-10 minutes. It's awful. And he's giving a little rub up and down, and Matt Carley blows up, and we'll get this reset. Right. Whew. Just a couple of, just for the last couple of minutes, so just taking our time a little bit. Both teams just sucking in a bit of oxygen. Right, on comes Ross Moriarty. That could be a big one. Off goes Davies, Seb Davis. So it's a big old carrier is Ross Moriarty, and a big old workhorse around the field as well. Does some terrific work off the ball. So he will be an asset going into this last quarter. As Kieran Hardy just lines up, gets this ready to put in. And we're in. As the French start to bore in. But Matt Carley just about happy with it. As Wales look to work into the 22. Josh Adams tries to spin out of the tackle, but it's not on. Here come Wales again. It's another cross field. Faletau. Oh, it's Jonathan Davis, and he's knocked it forward. And DuPont picks it up, and Liam Williams now scrambling back. Oh, I thought that was the moment. I thought if Jonathan Davis could have picked that up, it was almost going to be a dead cert as Williams puts this up into the night sky and takes his own catch. Here we go. Width is on. Bigger. Josh Adams is chewing up the space. And Cuthbert has to work hard to help his buddy out. And it eventually rolls into touch. Well, that's poor from Josh Adams. Got to run straight. Crabbing across the field. Getting greedy. Plenty of space out there. And Faletau one-on-one with a winger. You fancy a little Bosch there. That could be the chance. That could be it for Wales. That could have been the moment. Anyway, Wales with the line out, and Cuthbert takes this up in midfield. Moriarty, and again Willemese over this, but Hardy snipes away. Support slow to arrive. And France trying to get their hands on and slow things down, and referee orders them off. Now, Alderich with the turnover. Good work from him. And now the French will be allowed to clear their lines. So again, another visit to the 22 for Wales. Another visit for the 22 for Wales, and another one without any rewards. As Aldrich stays down, so we'll get some treatment for him. And Lewis Rees-Zammit warming up on the touchline. Here he comes, Reese Lightning. Heavily strapped ankle, mind. Hasn't had a great Six Nations, but he's just a young man. Got to have some time to grow. Anyway, the kick downfield from the penalty for France is just outside of the 22, and France will now be able to apply the pressure through this line out. Although French line out has been sketchy this game. And bigger, just a couple of shades of Finn Russell during this game. Not his usual. Bigger's normally a very structured player, isn't he? He's very, very to the playbook. But he's had quite a bit of unstructured moments that have really come off this evening. I've been impressed with him. I mean, he's always good. But, yeah. I know what I mean. Right, anyway, the ball is set from the line out. And once is called. France starting to roll forwards as Wales peel round to get back on side and try and stop this French maul rolling forwards. As Danty needs 3 men to carry him. To bring him to ground, sorry. Mistakes, for fuck's sake. You're not wrong, Flesham. You're not wrong, mate. As the French just using their forwards just to set it. And in the pocket is on to Mac. And it sails wide, the drop goal. Oh, only just wide. There we go. So France looking to try and get this job done. They're not comfortable out here, and they want to get this scoreboard to bed. Rees-Zammit with the follower tackle, and the maul is called, and Wales are all over the ball. This is going to be a scrum eventually. And it will be a Welsh put in at the scrum. Great work. Just entered the field. It's Josh Adams and Lewis Rees-Zammit there, leading the way on the maul. Great work from the Welsh wingers. Right. Okay. So, Wales with the scrum as we just watch more celebrations. More substitutions. Where do we stand on the substitutions thing? Talk to me, chat. Where are you on it? At the minute, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, we've got a penalty for Wales here. TMO stepping in. After the whistle's gone, lifts the legs in the air. Oh, that might be more than a penalty. Well, he brings him down on top of himself. But he does take him up and over. And it is dangerous. I think he's going to be lucky here. I think he's just going to get away with a penalty. But that could have very easily been a yellow card. So, a penalty awarded instead of the scrum. I think if he hadn't have brought him down on himself, if he'd have brought him down on the ground, then it would have been a yellow. Because it's essentially a tip tackle. Right. Here we go. Wales just inside the French... Oh, excuse me. Just inside the French 10. Oh, ow. Oof. I've got the hiccup burps now. Bigger. Finds Watkin in midfield. Faletau on the carry. Slowly gets to ground. It was Hardy, who's had a lot of game time that he wouldn't have been expecting. As Thomas went off early in the game with a head injury. It's when Jones carries up. Bigger. Finds Rees-Zammit, who's met by 2 big lumps. Doesn't get any room to get his feet going at all. And now Wales start to go backwards as they're inside their own half. Met on the halfway line. Well, it's not a great kick. Can't quite make the 50-22. And it's going to be a French line-out just outside of their own 22. I want Wales to score. I want Wales to score. Because I don't like the French. But I certainly can't. Well, I just can't see how they're going to. They just don't look like scoring. As Anscombe puts this up for Cuthbert, who takes Jaminet and holds him up for a second before slinging him backwards onto the floor. Dupont finds a runner. Flamon, I believe. And Untermack will fire this downfield. Bigger takes his time and fires this back himself. Bit of 22 to 22 work for Bigger and Untermack. And offside penalty coming for Wales. And there is an overlap. It's Faletau. Villiers, great tackle from him. Used to be a flanker, didn't he? Apparently, so I hear. And now he's a winger. New advantage coming, I believe, as Anscombe tries to put one through, but it eventually finds Cuthbert. And Anscombe carries up. Still advantage as Watkins finds Rees-Zammit. It's a 2-on-2. Rees-Zammit puts the stab through. There's no advantage coming. We're going back for the penalty. Offside from the kick. Let's hear from Matt Carley. It's a long way back. I mean, that is a long advantage with a lot of metres gained. The pundits on the Welsh pundit, I can't remember. Is it Gareth? Is it Edwards? Who's normally the most biased pundit going. Oh, hang on. Right, there was a knock on the 22. So Wales are going to have the scrum on the 22. And they've opted for the scrum on the 22. They don't want the penalty on halfway. They want the scrum on the 22. That was a long advantage. That's essentially what the BBC was saying. And it was the Welsh pundit that was whinging about it. Fair play to him. Here we go. As the crowd just rev it up a notch more. Scenes you love to see. Oh, we are one like away from our goal of 10 likes. If you haven't liked the stream yet, please, please, please give us a little like. We're on the road to 10 likes for the match. We were on the road to 10 likes for the half, but it didn't work out. But never mind. Anyway, hey, we got there. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Right, here we go. 8 minutes left on the clock. Oh. Dupont is off. Could that be a massive French mistake? You don't see him go off very often. Go off in a 4-point game at the Principality. Oof, that's a big shout. That is a big shout. As the clock wears down as we get this reset again. Right, so the ball is in. They go blind. Bigger feeds Watkin. Well, Rowlands carries up. Moriarty. Sorry, now Moriarty. Who's driven back. They're about 10 metres out now. Here come Wales again, though. Little switch play. Bigger. Little dummy, and it's... Oh, Oh no! With 6.5 minutes to go, Bigger does a little show and go dummy and then passes it straight to Untermack. And then after the tackle, they're not rolling away. So it's another penalty in the French 22 for Wales. And that has been the story of their game. Get down into territory where you can score and then find a way to give away a penalty. Sloppy for Wales. And really, they can probably only blame themselves if they lose this from here. 6 minutes left on the clock. It's a 4-point game. It's far from over yet. But they are now back on their own 10. 60 metres lost. And you would start to feel now that this is going to be a French Grand Slam. Right. French plough on in the maul. Once is called, but they start it rolling again. And Luku goes high and it's gone almost nowhere. And Josh Adams is able to get the offload away. Here comes Rowlands charging up the field. Makes 15 metres, but there's no support with him. And it is an advantage for France again. More woes for Wales. And just no support. As Rowlands makes the break, there's no one with him. He gets completely isolated. And this French tactic of doubling up on their tackles, one tackler, one jackler, has worked really, really well for them. Dante over that. Fantastic work. And off comes Navidi. Goes off to rapturous applause, but he looks disappointed, and you can't really blame him. So, 4 and a bit minutes left on the clock. Take 90 seconds off the clock. Go to the boot. And then England in Paris for the Grand Slam. Yeah. Brilliant. Jaminet has pointed to the posts. It's within his range, but with 4 minutes left on the clock, this is going to take 90 seconds off it. Right. I reckon this is about 55 metres, this kick. This is a biggie. Has he got the legs? Can he drill this through? If he can drill this through, you'd suspect it's game over. Oh, it's... Jesus Christ. It's got more than just the distance. As Anscombe... And Anscombe fires that into touch just outside of his own 22. So, it had the distance. It was just wide. So, we're now down to 3 minutes left on the clock for Wales. And France have the line out in between the 10 and the 22 of Wales. So, you'd imagine front ball, maul. Oh, they go to the back. And it's still a maul. As they try to get this moving forward, and it does as the Wales forwards peel round the back of it. Luku gets his hands on the ball and moves it into midfield. Dantry. I'll get it right one of these days. And France just looking to use forwards to run this clock down. Luca in no rush to use this. As French roll backwards. Good line speed from Wales. And Luku kicks away. 90 seconds left on the board. And Anscombe makes the mark. He taps it quickly and they start to move it wide while the French weren't looking. Here goes Rhys-Zammit. Beats 2 defenders. 3. Brought down by the 4th. And that's a great pick-up from Cuthbert. Has to turn around on his heels. Great work from him. Wales then, with it all to do, with just 70 seconds left on the board. Damn it, bloody mistakes are costing us bad, says Fleshing. You're not wrong, mate. You're not wrong. Penalty advantage coming for Wales. As Hardy tries to snipe round the corner, but again, he's got himself isolated, and it's the story of Wales night. Getting isolated left, right and centre. It's going to be a scrum for Wales then. Right, the BBC are picking their man of the match. So I'm going to pick our Dick of the Day. We call it Dick of the Day here because my name's Dickie. No other reason than that. Right. Oh, they're going to give it to Marchand. I wasn't. I was going to give it to Bigger. Right, we've got some players on the floor, so the clock has stopped with 40 seconds left on it. I think the BBC gave man of the match to Marchand there. Although I did hear Bigger's name called, as I said, my Dick of the Day is Bigger. But anyway, we've given Dick of the Day to Bigger. They might have given it to Marchand, or they have given it to Marchand. There we go. Right, here we go. Well, by the time this scrum is set and the ball is in and out, this will be final play. This will be final play, you'd think. Dante off. On comes LeBel. And here we go then. The scrum is set. This is it for Wales. Ball comes in. It's to the back and it starts to wane, so Hardy has to move it. Cuthbert. Adams looking for space, but again he's crabbing across the field, chewing up space. Lewis up to halfway now, Wales. The clock has gone red. And ball tracking's done us dirty. Wales have lost. We'll bring you the rest of the action as we see it. As Bigger finds Watkins, who's trying to beat the first tackler and carved down by a second. Dante's in. Dante's over the ball. Dante steals it. And it's advantage for France. And they secure that. And oh, look at that. Huddersfield Town 2. West Bromwich Albion 2. Yeah, they boot that into touch. And it's all over. France are 4 from 4. Wales are 2 from 4. With who have they got to play? Italy to play. Oof. Well, Gary McAnally, welcome in. So much for us getting cuffed. Getting cuffed? What's cuffed? I don't think you can hold your head in too much shame there, Fleshing. It was a good game. It was just unfortunate that it was just it was just unlucky that you just weren't clinical enough. Wales really only have themselves to blame for that loss because the French offered them. The French were gifting the Welsh opportunities. I mean, how many visits to the 22 did they need? I haven't got the. I don't. Let's see if we can get the stats up here, and we'll have a little look. But welcome in, Gary. Hope you're well. The Grand Slam is alive for France. Wales, in my opinion, I don't think it's Fleshings, but in my opinion, only have themselves to blame for that. Although, BBC have just said 33 minutes played without a point scored. That's mental. Let's have a look. Well, I mean, there were that many visits to the 22. Doesn't tell you how many visits. But your points to visits ratio is 0. 0. France had 2. So, you know, if you can't score a try, you can't guarantee the win. You can't rely on your kicker to kick everything. You're not England. Right, anyway, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for joining us on TikTok. It's been absolutely emotional. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. We will see you again soon, and as always, face down, ass up. That's the way we like to rock. We'll see you tomorrow.